Thank you, Rivington. A big win there, coming out the gates hot for SKT, taking it 1-0 so far in the series. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with Champions League, because as we watched it, it was commented around the desk. We loved the approach by EDG here.
I really liked SKT's as well, though. In the first time they faced each other, they went with a 5-threat composition. The Annie is always a threat. You need to keep her in mind because she can CC you, and in the team fight, she's a huge factor. They did the exact same thing here. You're running the Maokai. You cannot ignore the Maokai. You have the Gragas, you have Cassiopeia with the Kalista and Annie. That's even more CC to layer on top of it. And it's a very similar strategy to what they ran the first time around. EG has to adapt to this pick and ban.
Yeah, I think EDG already did adapt. They asked the first question that everyone on the desk asked: can Bengi perform on something that isn't the Nunu or the Rek'Sai? So I liked the draft. I thought they came out with a clear strategy. Credit to SKT. They definitely dealt with the draft, so it wasn't an impeccable draft, but it asks the biggest question that we were all asked.
Yeah, and spoiler, Bengi performed incredibly well on the Gragas. I think that he was one of the players. Oh yeah, we have actually a look into EDG. I hope that the coach is doing his job here.
Yeah, they've got time to rethink their strategy. Maybe that pick ban change will change. Let's go into that jungle, though. We watched SKT with a very interesting jungle route that was premeditated.
The tempo of the game was set right from the beginning, and it truly shows how jungle is a team effort. It's not just one guy thinking this out. So he starts doing his own red buff with a really nice leash from the bottom lane that speeds up his jungle. Maokai, on the other hand, puts 3 saplings at the Raptor camp, allowing him to kill all the small ones and get to lane without using the teleport. So when he heads back to lane, Maokai has the teleport advantage. He doesn't have to use teleport. Korra didn't use it either, but he's still down in experience because of the 3 Raptor camps. So he can push out faster than Korra can and get a ward into the red buff before Clearlove can get there. Then he goes, finishes the big Raptor, goes to the blue buff. To be honest, I think he should have done just the blue buff because he didn't get level 3 off the Raptor camp. A little bit of a mismatch in there, but instead goes for it anyways, tries to kill Clearlove, and the pressure is on. From that point on, the gank on mid lane, and the game is completely snowballed.
Yeah, and they read exactly what EDG wanted to do all game. That's why I'm so impressed with the SKT lineup, because they were willing to match aggression, especially in the top lane. That turret dive, they overextended for EDG, and SKT were there in a second to really capitalize. They went for a very greedy level 1 there. EDG wanted everyone in their lanes to be able to start shoving out and get that early aggression that we always talk about, and SKT makes them pay. Really good, smart play.
Yeah, and I think slowly but surely EDG actually tried to put on the pressure. And we saw that most dominantly in the top lane, where Korra actually has a really good time against the Maokai.
Yeah, a lot of people out there noticed Korra's play. They said, or one of our tweets from @theboyAlex writes, "Oh my God, Korra, you are a god. Please teach me, Senpai." We're going to roll a clip there in the top lane so you guys can check it out.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that there was a little bit sloppy CC layering, and then Korra just really nice ultimate in the end of the transformation, and with a slither of health is running away. Annie so close, the jump, and he actually gets the kill. And I think we have to really note that the individual performance by EDG was exceptional. I think that Korra did a fantastic job in the top lane. And
one thing I want to point out about the whole EDG lineup is it's nearly like they play on instinct alone. They know exactly how much they can live with. And that's why SKT, an analytical play, is coming out a little bit ahead, you see, in game 1. But if the game deteriorates at all, you expect those instincts to start playing a bigger role.
Yeah, I think that, just to touch on the early jungle point, I think that was really smart setup by SKT, and that was not something that comes from instinct. Getting level 2 first, pushing out early, getting the jungle camp early as well. They set that up really, really prematurely, and I think that is something we can look out forward to.
I do want to jump into our replay. We're going to go 25 minutes into the game. This ends up being a 4-0 for SKT in the Dragon, results in Baron as well.
Right here, SKT starting the Dragon. You know you have a lot of Dragon pressure with the Cassiopeia and the Kalista. Ren stack cannot get outsmited, and Bengi is going to be the hero for this fight. Versus a 2-threat composition, he goes in, knows that he's not in danger, ultis the Orianna, and her flashback is immediately forced. Right here, a misclick by her, taking the Lantern, puts her back into the fray and right into range of Marin. As soon as Orianna gets hit with the Twisted Advance, she dies, doesn't get the ultimate off, and it's easy pickings for SKT from this point on. This is what happens when you run a 2-threat comp. Gnar does not deal enough damage to be a carry. Same goes with the Sejuani. You need the Orianna to stay alive, and Urgot isn't really a hyper carry. He's more of a, poke them out here and there and CC them. So perfectly played team fight by SKT in that point.
Yeah, I think that at that point in the game, they don't do enough damage. If they had given that up, they had the first 2 dragons. Why are you fighting against a mid-game Cassiopeia Kalista? Just give it up, walk away, live to fight another day. The other thing is you shouldn't feel pressured to fight against a team that secures advantages so easily. Cassiopeia, Kalista, you're not going to steal it even if it gets to that point. So don't push the tempo. You're more of a poke comp. Just let them come to you.
Well, we'll have more time to talk about this matchup on the other side of the break that we have to take just now as the teams gear up for Game 2. But don't touch that browser because you're about to get an exclusive sneak peek at the newest champion that will soon be hitting Summoner's Rift. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your inside look at Echo, the boy who shattered time.
People waste a lot of time. Then they wish for more. They want more hours in their days, more days in their years, more years in their lives. Because if they had all that extra time, they could fix any mistake. I don't need hours or days or years. I only need seconds. Here's the thing about time. If you can't make the most out of any given moment, then you don't deserve a single extra second.